All right, we're on with Reese Turner, our guest of the show, Marshall's brother. If you don't know, they don't look alike, but they might be adoptive sons. We don't know yet.
The jury's still out, man. Nobody knows.
But we do have some boxing this weekend, Boxing Mania, you know. Oh, yes, I did that again. We had some boxing this weekend.
Where's this guy's head at? Anyways, we're going to start off with Conor Benn. I want to get your opinion on Conor Benn because he did the job in one round on Samuel Vargas, a Canadian fella.
Conor Benn's a savage, man. He's a come forward fighter, but he comes forward with a purpose, and he's very aware defensively when he comes. He doesn't just walk at you. He'll dip and slip just like his dad used to do. I think he's going to be a problem. I want to see him fight a top 10 guy now. I would like to see.
We got him, we got Jaron Ennis, and we got Virgil Ortiz as these young up-and-coming guys in the welterweight division. Tell me what your feeling is on the three of them and who you think is the king of that era right there. Or who's going to be the king of the era?
Me? You want me to tell you?
Yeah. Brady doesn't know who these guys are.
Okay. Well, Virgil, okay. I think they're all very talented. They're all different, have a few similarities. The thing is, all three of them are very offensive fighters. They like to come at you and throw a lot of hard shots. Ennis is the most defensive out of the three. He's more of a counterpuncher. Virgil is the most tenacious and probably has the best offense out of the three. And Conor Benn, I'd say, is like a little bit under, maybe more than a little bit under, but he's significantly under both, but he's still very talented. I would say Virgil, at this point right now, has impressed me the most. Jaron Ennis next, and then Conor Benn, but I could see them all ruling the division at one point. They'll be like in the top 5, all of them. Once all the guys retire, like the new wave comes in.
Okay, Brady,
I do know who Virgil Ortiz is already.
Huh?
I know who they are.
Yeah. Did you or did you not catch the Jaron Ennis fight?
No.
Okay, so on the co-main event, we had a Filipino 115-pound IBF champion Jerwin Ancayas was taking on Johnny Rodriguez, I believe was his name.
Unreal.
Reese, was it not one of the best fights you've ever seen?
Yeah, it was. I should have. There was a couple parts of the fight I didn't pay as much attention as I should have, but it was an amazing fight. That's like a fight of the year contender. Easy for a joke. Unreal fight. So very back and forth.
The problem here with this is it's a 115-pound champion of a guy who doesn't really speak English. It's not going to get the attention, the media attention that it deserves. So no one's going to be like, that's your fight of the year. But if you don't know, now you know. Go watch this fight. This thing was insane. I was talking about it on Instagram when after it happened. I was in shock. Might be the best fight I've seen all year so far, boxing or MMA.
And if they weighed 100 more pounds, someone would have got knocked out. How small are they?
They weigh now that your leg weighs, Brady, 115.
Okay, yeah, I was just about to say, so if you put 2 of my legs in there, you got to fight. Next.
Okay, main event, we had Jaron Ennis, one of the 3 kings of the welterweight division, potentially. 23 years old, was taking on Sergey Lipinets, a former junior welterweight champion. Only loss was to Mikey Garcia, and this was a bit of a back-and-forth war. Ennis was getting the better of it the entire time, but he was getting hit with some good shots. I don't know what you guys thought. I know, Brady, you didn't see the fight, but Reese, did you not see a young Adrian Broner style? The way that Ennis kind of like shells up, throws hooks, and overhand shots, works the body?
Yeah, when you said that, I was like, oh, that's very true, because like he has good foot movement when he uses it, but he uses it more for like fighting kind of in mid-range using the angles. He doesn't really move around like a Terrence Crawford kind of does. You know what you know what I'm saying? He's more like he'll just step. He'll step, pivot side to side. Yeah, it does remind me a lot of that, except for the fact that he's significantly better than Adrian Broner was. And Broner was a hell of a fighter at one point. So it's saying a lot.
Yeah. So people are calling for Ennis versus Thurman next. I would favor him in that fight, but I don't think we need to see that right now. Why don't we have him fight like maybe one of these other young guys, maybe a Virgil Ortiz, maybe a Connor Ben, but maybe you don't want to kill off a prospect. I get that too, but I don't think we need to go to a top 5 guy right now. I don't think we need to go there.
Why? What else is there to do? Isn't he like 27-0 with 25 KOs? Isn't it time?
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
That's fair, boys.
Stop padding your record, boxers. Go out there, fight the best. Yeah, you're right. Okay. In the fight that I was looking forward to, you guys know I've been high on Joe Smith for a couple years now. Joe Smith was fighting Maxim Vlasov, and when I thought he was going to go out and get the job done, demo job style, on the Russian. Vlasov has never been stopped. His 3 losses are to former or current world champions, I believe, and he's coming down from cruiserweight. This was, again, like, not quite as good, I don't think, as the Showtime co-main event, but this was some crazy fight. Brady, Did you see this fight, Brady?
No, it was WrestleMania, buddy.
So you're watching. Okay, Brady was watching fake fights. Reese, talk to me about Joe Smith, Maxim Vlasov?
Hey, in our argument, how many more millions of people were watching WrestleMania?
That's a good point.
Yeah, but all cornballs. We watch real fights on this channel. Real fights.
Hey man, don't put me in that. I respect wrestlers, man. They destroy themselves just as much as a fighter does.
Just letting you know, Marshall had Randy Orton on the screen, so don't let him lie.
On Sunday, no real fights going. Of course, I'm going to do it. I had Edge on. I tuned in for Edge. I tuned in for Randy Orton. That was pretty much it. But anyways, Joe Smith. It was a draw. What did you think about the scoring, Reese? Do you think it was a draw?
Did I think it was? No, Joe Smith won. Majority decision.
Joe Smith won a majority decision. I scored a draw. What did you think, Reese?
I scored it 6 rounds to 5 and 1 even for Joe Smith. I had him winning by 1 point. So, yeah, I agree with the score, but it definitely could have went either way. It could have been a draw. But I think the fact that Joe Smith finished in the championship rounds so tenaciously and so dominantly, that's what swayed him to fight, because it was clearly could have went either way at that point, and he finished very strong.
Right, and in that 11th round, he threw a left hook, I believe it was a left hook, and Maxim Vlasov put his head down and it clipped the back of Vlasov's head, much like the Yuri Lapika situation on 1 last week. And the ref stopped the fight and gave Vlasov time to recover. On that hook, Vlasov went down. So it should have been a knock.
He didn't tell him to go to a neutral corner. He allowed him to go to his own corner, and he was getting instruction.
Right. So even without that being considered a knockdown, it was a very dominant round. I think you could have scored it at 10-8. I think one ref did score that at 10-8, and that gets Joe Smith the win. So if somebody had to win, even though I scored it 6 rounds apiece, Joe Smith was the rightful winner.
Man, I saw a lot of people saying it was a robbery. I'm like, what are you talking about? For one, a robbery is when someone clearly wins. That was not clear for either guy. And for 2, how can you say that when the dude was destroying him in the championship round? Like, I don't know, man. Some people, I think if someone wins a fight and they scored it even 1 point for the other guy, they say robbery like it's nothing.
Yeah, I agree. And I think it's a lot of international fans are very biased as well. That's probably part of it.
That's a fact. No offense, but it's.
But okay, Joe Smith gets in his second attempt at a world title. He lost to Bivol a couple years ago for the WBA. He won the WBO. This sets up a super fight for 3 of the recognized 4 titles against Artur Beterbiev. Please make this fight happen by the summertime. That's an amazing fight. That says fight of the year all over it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Brady, will you or will you not be watching Beterbiev versus Smith?
I'm sure I'll turn it on just for you.
All right, good. So this weekend we got we're gonna end off with the Ben Askren card. We're gonna give a few quick shout outs here. We got Demetrius Andre, the WBO middleweight champion, return and take on Liam Williams. Williams is a top 10 guy. I like that he's actually fighting a real dude. That's good. But Andre should get the win, as he always does.
You should start him.
Williams is ranked 8th at middleweight by BoxRec. So, yeah, you're right, top 10. His only 2 losses came to Liam Smith, who's a solid guy, very top contender. So I mean, I'd take Andre though. Probably stop him.
Yeah, and then former WBC junior middleweight champion Tony Harrison is returning to take on Bryant Perella in a 10-round fight. Are you guys familiar with Bryant Perella?
Nope.
So I'm not a fan of Tony Harrison either. Didn't he screw over my boy Swift?
What? No, he lost to Swift.
Oh, I'm thinking of someone else. Who took Swift's belt?
Julian Williams.
Oh, that's who I'm thinking of.
But Tony Harrison should get this one done. I mean, he has to. And then I want to see the trilogy with Charlo.
One shout out for Harrison. In my opinion, he's got the best tools and most talent in that division. Just his gas tank is bad. Very bad.
Yeah. Okay. And the biggest card of the weekend, which is an absolute joke to say, we have the Askren Paul card with a couple decent undercard fights. We got Steve Cunningham versus Frank Mir at heavyweight, an 8-round fight. Brady, let's start with you on this one. What do you got? Cunningham, Mir, 8 rounds, heavyweight.
How do you even predict these fights? That's what it comes down to. Like, this is just pulling something out of her ass and being like, okay, this is what I think. In reality, Steve Cunningham should destroy him, but it's sad that it's going to be competitive. It's probably going to go to 8 rounds. I don't know. Frank Mir has the boxing to keep him off. I don't think Cunningham's fought in, 2 or 3 years?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think it's going to look...
I don't think he's fought since the McGregor-Mayweather card.
It's going to be pretty sloppy. Like, it's going to look like crap. And you're going to see a decision for Cunningham.
Okay, Reese, what do you think?
I mean, yeah, obviously I've got to go with Steve Cunningham. You know, it's a boxing match. Steve is a former world champion boxer. So, but that being said, boxing is like my true love. I love MMA too, but I have to go. I would like to see Frank Mir win this. He's one of my favorite mixed martial arts fighters ever. Probably my second favorite heavyweight fighter next to Fedor. So I would like to see him win, but I think he's probably going to get beaten up. He's a tough guy though, so it might be able to last a little bit.
Yeah. Here's my thing. I think Frank Mir is going to get absolutely sent to the dark, deep depths in this fight. I mean, Steve Cunningham's not a huge puncher, but he can hit. Go look what he did to Tyson Fury. He almost killed Tyson Fury with an overhand right. And Frank Mir isn't a tall heavyweight, so he's going to be there to be hit. Frank Mir's going to gas around 3 or 4. Frank Mir doesn't have a great gas tank. He's not used to fighting a pure stand-up fighter. He's going to gas out hard. Steve Cunningham's going to Huh?
It's also not grappling.
Yes. Steve Cunningham's absolutely going to send him out badly. I want Frank Mir to win. I really like Frank Mir, but it's going to be violent. It's going to be a violent ending. And Frank Mir's going to look bad. His daughter's cornering him, I'm pretty sure, and his daughter's going to have to come and check out her dad unconscious on the campus.
It's 8 rounds, right?
Yeah, 8 rounds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fuck,
what was that?
Frank Mir's first fight, and he's still doing more rounds than Butterbean ever did.
Then again, he's a former world champ at something, so don't ever compare Frank Mir to Butterbean.
Yeah. Butterbean, go fuck yourself. Next.
Okay, Regis Prograis. If you don't remember,
Follow that man on TikTok.
Regis Prograis had a very close fight with Josh Taylor. It was for a title unification fight. He's considered the second, if not third, best fighter in the junior welterweight division right now, taking on Ivan Redcatch. Redcatch is going down in weight for this, I guess, to junior welterweight. Redcatch is a tough dude. If you remember, he bit Danny Garcia on the neck in their fight. I think Prograis should get him out there because he's very hittable. Prograis should stop him. TKO.
We agree with you, Marshall.
Redcatch has never been a guy that I really wanted to take time out to watch. No offense to him, but I know his style already. He's a come forward guy with no defense and not even a great offense. Like, he's just a tough guy. He's gonna get stopped. Prograis he's a very good fighter, and I think he'll probably stop him probably late.
Are you gonna be watching Redcatch versus Prograis?
I'll be watching this whole card.
That's more than I won't be watching this whole card, but I'll be watching that.
I'm gonna probably watch it. It's actually a really good card, man.
I want to see the production. I mean, we got Justin Bieber doing some live shit. We got some other singers doing some live shit. It's more of a concert than a boxing match.
Is Snoop Dogg commentating?
I think so.
What about Izzy? Is Izzy commentating?
It's horrible commentating anyway.
I don't know. Adesanya is actually a really good commentator. I think he did a very good job.
Hit that man with some biscuits or whatever. What did he say with O'Malley or some shit?
He said that's like two uncles out here getting it done at the barbecue. Okay, we got in your main event, we have a YouTuber taking on Olympic wrestler in a boxing match. Jake Paul versus Ben Askren, 8 rounds under the Queensberry rules. Marcus of Queensberry rules. I'm gonna start with this one. I think Jake Paul has got 2 or 3 rounds to get the job done, and then I think Askren's elite level competing and conditioning will get him through. But I do think Jake Paul starches him. I think he touches him, and Jake Paul finishes the job, and they're inside 3 rounds. Brady, let's go to you on this one.
Askren has a chin. Like, people always take that away. That guy could take a fucking beating. Sorry for swearing. Oh, beat that up. Am I not right, though? That guy could take a shit ton of, like, look what Lawler did to that man's face.
Oh, he could take a punch, but I can't take a knee.
No one can take that knee, though. Let's be honest.
No, not many.
So, like, I think that he weathers the storm and gets beat up for about 4 rounds, and he's sloppy. He's gonna come out here and start hugging and kissing and grabbing and touching. It'll look like a pornographic movie, and it'll be sloppy. And you're gonna see him win the last 4 rounds. And I think it'll be a draw.
Draw. Okay, so we got Tyson Jones part 2. We'll have Triller main events are just gonna end in draws. That's what you think's gonna happen?
It's going to be a draw because he'll gas. He won't be able to finish Logan Paul. For some reason, I take some away from Nate Paul, or Jake Paul. Can't even get their names right. But they seem like tough. He seems like a tough guy, at least. Like, he can take a shot.
What do you think, Reese?
I think if Jake Paul is going to win, it's going to be within 3 rounds. If Askren makes it out of the 3rd round, he's going to stop Jake Paul in the 7th or 8th round. Because I can't see Jake Paul being able to fight for 8 rounds. He's gonna get tired, very tired. And Askren, we know he's got some lungs under him, man. Like, obviously he's been competing in combat sports his whole life. So, I think Askren's gonna try and tie up a lot within the first 3 rounds, especially after he gets touched, which he's probably gonna get touched. Tie up, and I think he'll survive. So I'm taking Askren by 7th or 8th round, probably TKO. They're just going to stop it because he's exhausted. He's just taking way too much.
Okay, here's a little asterisk I want to say. I think the ref is going to play a lot into this, how this fight plays out, because if Askren can hold on the head a little bit, even just like for half a second longer than he should be able to, that's going to let him get a couple of body shots in that he normally wouldn't be able to get in, because that's his game, and the clinch game is his thing. Also, point deductions. I don't think Askren's gonna be worried about taking point deductions because he's not worried about this fight going the distance. He's just trying to stop him late.
Exactly.
I just think, like, when you watch Damian Maia versus Ben Askren, that might be the worst striking you've ever seen. So it's scary for Ben.
Right.
Yeah, but that being said, a sloppy striker like that could be a problem for someone who's a good striker. We've seen it before.
But
yeah, it's unorthodox. Yeah.
Jake Paul is not a boxer. He's just better at boxing than Ben Askren.
We don't even know that exactly.
We'll find out. Anyways, I got Jake. Brady, you got top draw. Reese, you got Ben, late TKO. Okay. Anything else you guys want to talk before we get out of here?
Do have a fight announcement today. I can't think of the opponent, but we got Ryan Garcia fighting.
Javier Fortuna.
Yes. That's a good fight.
Who's a lot of governing bodies, I think, have him in the top 10.
I think Ryan Garcia is extremely overrated. I would like to see him fight Haney, but I don't know.
Here's the thing: Fortuna's better than anybody on Haney's resume.
That's true. So, and look what Campbell did to him.
So is Campbell.
Exactly. So, like, yeah, people are saying you want to call Ryan a duck? That doesn't make sense. He's got a better resume than Devin Haney and Gervonta Davis have at lightweight. So that's all that matters.
Combined. With
Yes.
one win.
Yes. Yeah. So Ryan Garcia should get that job done, but it's not an easy fight. Fortuna's slippery. He's dangerous. I think he's Cuban. So I'm excited to see Ryan Garcia back. Anything else you guys want to talk about?
There was nothing else. There's something about Anthony Joshua. They're looking to sign a deal for a live crowd. That was about it. I don't think there's... Yeah.
Today, the day is today. Tyson said he's giving it till Tuesday, so it's 6:30 on Tuesday today. And if the deal doesn't get done, then he's moving on.
Shitty.
Yeah, I know.
But that's boxing.
All right, guys, we are out.
All right.
Peace.